think that you can have a continuous moving picture that can be considered a painting. So that's one of the things I've always had. We've had a few other video artists at school, and they've argued that basically the video that I create is just film, and I argue it's a digital piece of art. So it's been a fight, trying to balance out where it comes. So I always try to make a defense for my video paintings. Originally, I had started. Originally, I don't have it with me, but I started doing videos with shooting live at the aquarium down here in downtown. And what I would do is I would zoom in on the things, and I would manipulate the footage and try to create abstract, almost moving paintings. Well, I kind of went as far as I could with that and started using. I needed to find something else that I was passionate about to start doing the paintings about, and so I started using video games and creating digital arts out of them. So this is one. This is one piece I call Green. I'll show about maybe just 30 or 40 seconds of each piece. The way I title my pieces, usually they're either an abbreviation of the game itself, or actually just something. I use basic terms for them. Like this one I just call Green because there's such an influx of the color inside the painting. And the one thing I do with the paintings is I try to work with speeds and changing the variations on the focus on them. And all the audio that are played with them are all created that I've done myself to go along with the actual painting itself.
I'm assuming that was Tetris?
Nope.
No? Uh-oh. Let's see what the video game we're in.
This is another one I call Lines. This is actually still in the works. Because that's always just on the works, but all my videos have either been shown on a computer screen, projected on a wall, or recently this year I've done a couple of shows where we've used small portable DVD players to hang on walls, and people use headphones to listen to the audio. And I've come to realize that it's basically in a way kind of made it more personal for the viewer in the actual piece, because it's one-on-one, a little more intimacy when you're actually viewing the art. One of the things I've been working on, especially this year, was trying to figure out ways to actually allow the viewer to interact with the piece more. Is that I'm interested in trying to work on creating my videos into video installation or video sculptures. And one of the ways I've been doing some of the research was I've been and some of you may have heard of it. There's a oh, hang on. There's a virtual world called Second Life, which I work inside of. And I've been working to kind of like create video-based like sculptures where basically the viewer would kind of, one is in case you're inside, I've actually done my master's thesis was actually doing a video, the first graduate art show inside the virtual world itself. But so I try to still do art inside there, but it's also ways to maybe eventually do research to maybe bring it into real life and figure out ways that might be able to incorporate this into the real life of art. The premise of this one is basically I had a huge structure with pillars going all throughout. So basically one of the things that people used to tell me is they almost wish they could go inside the actual art, so this is one way of doing that. also my research has also been going in. I just curated my first show up at the University of Texas at Dallas this past, actually it's about a month ago. And the premise of the game, the show was called On Game. I wanted to look at basically artists who have maybe, the original reason I came up with this about 3 years ago, they started a show out in LA called I Am 8-Bit, basically looking and going to different artists, from graffiti artists, painters, graphic designers, and basically asking them to create a piece on their favorite 8-bit game from the 80s, from the Nintendo age. And so you had everything from sculpture to wood paneling to felt and stitch to just pen and ink. And so I wanted to take it one step further, and a professor of mine curated the show with me. And basically, you know, we basically left it more open. We kind of gave it two directions. One, the artists that we invited in, one could either, maybe their art could be influenced on video games, or maybe they've somehow, maybe don't play video games now, but maybe when they were younger did, and somehow the video game, when they play it, may have influenced where the art's has come to today. So, go ahead and show some of the pictures. Basically, the show was a blend of basically digital and traditional art style. So here we have hang on a second. A friend of mine named Katie Thompson. She basically, her art is based upon, or is very about looking at. She creates painting, the stitching, from a very feminist point of view, and basically looks at how the image of the woman is taken and done wrong through the use of like Playboy and other areas like that. And so she basically did a portrait of 3 using the Super Mario Brothers characters and images from stories in the Bible. So you have the Eve with the snake in the Garden of Eden eating the apple, Mario as Jesus hanging on the cross, and then Mary Magdalene praying. So and these are all done on all painted. We have another art called by Kim Owens. She's the painting teacher up at University of Dallas, and she was explaining how she grew up playing the old Atari system, and so you can kind of see what basically the old vector graphics or just lines and how this is kind of incorporated in some of her style. Another video artist who, Mary Benedicto, who's another graduate from UTD, was never a big gamer, but she says she's played the heck out of and still does Centipede. So I basically told her, she basically creates her own video piece, and I told her just create something and think nothing but Centipede. It's like that kind of influence, and so this is what she came up with. It's basically you have like the little balls keep going through the like right here. They go passing through the screen, and you have the lines coming through. So and she created audio, which sounds almost like being in one of the old like Atari or almost Nintendo based games. Another one is one with Space Invaders. This one is by Barnacan't Tour. He's a digital artist out of Austin, but now up in Chicago. And basically with this one, it's all the fans are create the structure of the Space Invader, and each fan actually turns at a different speed. And you have the blue light emulating from behind it. So basically the structure is nothing but a dark room. So when you walk in, all you see is the illumination of the actual Space Invader itself. I'll do one more. One more is Brent Ozeda, another graduate of UTD. He actually just had his first solo show. Anybody who might still get a chance to see it at the Public Trust down in Deep Ellum. Brent comes from a Japanese background. His art is in screen printing, and what he does is he goes on the internet and just has all these things and finds all these images from Japanese pop culture and just mixes them together. And basically his blend of just growing up from the 80s pop culture and 90s, and blends them all together, and now puts them in these paintings, which is just, it's really cool to see when it's a different variety. It's just mind blowing. But this is what I was looking at. It's just I'm also trying to look at how video games has become such a huge pop culture icon just for in society today, and how